Hi everyone and welcome to Lipstick on a Rig. Today we're going to be making this very versatile and incredibly simple beanie. For this project I'm going to be working with size 4 medium weight acrylic yarn, and this is just the Big Twist Value brand and the color is mustard. I'm also going to be using a size F or 5 or 3.75 millimeter crochet hook. And if you haven't already, then please check out the precursor to this video, and that is my How to Crochet a Beanie Brim, and I will link to that in the description. So since this pattern is so customizable, you can crochet any width brim that you want. But for this beanie, I crocheted a brim that is 4 stitches deep. And again, as far as this goes, you can crochet a brim as wide as you want, but I crocheted a brim that is roughly 11 inches. So from here, I'm just going to join the 2 edges of my brim together like I show you how to do in that precursor video. And once you've joined your edges together, then we're going to turn our brim inside out. And so from here, what we're going to do is we're going to chain 2. And then crocheting over our tail, we're going to place 1 double crochet at the top of each of our ridges. So it doesn't matter how wide you made your brim, each pattern is going to be the same. So place your double crochet at the top of each of your brims. And since we don't have any traditional stitches, we're just going to have to work in the available loops that we have. And of course, if you want your beanie to be slouchier, you can always just sprinkle in additional stitches along your row. It's completely up to you, and that's what I love about this pattern. So once you get to the end of your row, we're going to begin a continuous loop pattern, which means we won't be starting and stopping each of our individual rows, but instead our pattern is going to act like more of a spiral. And all we're going to do is place 1 double crochet in between each of our double crochet stitches. So we're not going to be working in the top portion of our stitch, but instead we're going to be crocheting in the gap between our stitches. So we're going to do this in between our chain 2 and our first double crochet, and that will mark the first stitch of this row. And we're just going to keep crocheting in between each of our stitches, going all the way around your row. So you should have the same number of stitches as you did in your first row and your second row. And as you can see here, your rows should flow seamlessly into one another. So you shouldn't have to do anything when you get to the end of your second row and move on to your third row. And so from here, we're just going to repeat this for multiple rows to build the body of our beanie. And of course, the number of rows that we repeat this will vary depending on the size of the head of the person that you're making this for. And as you can see, I added several additional rows to what you would consider to be a normal size beanie. But I'm going to show you 3 different ways that you can finish this beanie off. So once you've gotten this to your desired length, which can either be a normal size beanie or regular size beanie, or you can have the additional rows like I do. What you're going to do is you're going to single crochet in the gap between your double crochet stitches for your next 4 stitches. And once you have your 4 single crochets in place, then you're going to place 1 slip stitch in between these gaps, just like we've been doing, in our next 3 stitches. And then from here, we're going to cut and tie off our yarn. And this process is the same regardless of how you want to finish off your beanie. So from here, if you went with a longer beanie, you can either grab a hair tie and tie it around the top of your beanie. What I like about this option is that it makes it very versatile and you can make it any size you want at any time. And so if you tie it up with a hair tie, it'll look something like this. If you crocheted this to a normal size, then you're just going to want to cut a strand of yarn roughly 1 foot in length and weave it along the top edge of your beanie. But you can also do this somewhere in the middle of your beanie, so maybe right here. And all you're going to do is just weave this strand of yarn in between your stitches going all the way along your row. And once you're done weaving your strand of yarn, then you're just going to pull on the 2 yarn strand ends and tie them together as tightly as you can. And next I'm going to show you how to make a chain that will go around your cinch to kind of complete the look. But this can also be a ribbon or just a strand of yarn as well. What you're going to do is attach the yarn to your crochet hook with a slip knot, and then I'm going to chain about 16, but this number can vary. So once you've made a chain that is long enough to go around your cinched part, you're just going to simply slip stitch your chain together. And then from here, we're going to cut and tie off our yarn. And then I'm just going to run these 2 tails inside my beanie. And just like that, you are done. Please let me know in the comments below if you experienced any issues while you were making this, and I will do my best to help you out. If this video helped you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my channel, Lipstick on a Rig. Thank you so much for working with me, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.